And if you guys will permit me, look, I know that this is a day when many Canadians are feeling uncertain, they're feeling anxious. And
no, we're not feeling anxious. We want to get you guys out, just like the Americans got out the Democrats.
And it is important for me to reassure them. I think a lot of the brave people of Ukraine are feeling anxious. So I'd just like to say one sentence to them in Ukrainian, if that's okay.
No, it's not.
Я хочу сказати нашим друзям в Україні, що Канада стоїть з вами. Ми стоїмо з вами сьогодні.
In the U.S., economic woes took front and center despite a growing economy. That's not what the electorate felt. You keep on insisting and saying to Canadians that inflation's going down, that our interest rates are going down, and that our economy is better. But if the message is not landing in the U.S., your polling here shows that it's not landing either. What are you going to do to turn that around?
Great question. So right there, we got real economic problems in the U.S. and Canada as well. Your polling ain't showing that your message about how inflation is going down is working. Nobody's believing you, Freeland. So how are you going to, now that Trump has decisively won, how are you going to handle that over here? Because we got our election, even if Trudeau delays it and Jagmeet keeps him in power in 1 year, we're going to be going to the polls.
Well, thank you for the question. And let me start by saying it's not me insisting about inflation and interest rates. These are facts.
Oh, right. Okay,
and
baby.
the fact is that interest rates have come down faster and further in Canada than in the United States. That has been such a focus for me.
Right.
Because I know what the pressure was of interest rates on Canadian households and Canadian businesses, particularly because of the structure of our mortgage market where people have 5-year mortgages in
We're
general.
doing better. Thank you.
And the rates have come down. They've come down further than south of the border. That is real relief for Canadians. The same is true on inflation. Inflation has come down further and faster in Canada.
How much can you just lie to us? Just keep telling us that everything is fine. Everything's perfect, right? Canadians are literally working out of their cars, having a hard time paying the bills, paying rent, buying food, grocery, putting their kids in extracurricular activities because it costs so much money. It's really hard out there for a lot of people.
Than in the United States. That also is real relief for Canadians. Interest rates down, inflation down. I started there because I think that's what really matters to Canadians.
You keep telling us that everything's down, inflation's down, but you know the only thing that's going down is your government, Freeland.
Having said that, I used to be a pundit. I'm not. I am now.
You were a journalist. You did Russian studies. That's what you did.
An MP elected by Canadians, a minister here to serve Canadians. It's not my job to speculate on why Americans voted as they did. It is my job to wake up every morning and to work hard for Canadians.
No, it's your job to be afraid, be very afraid of what's coming next for you. And if you have 2 brain cells, you guys are going down.
Great. Global News.
Hi, Minister Freeland. Donald Trump has promised mass deportations. J.D. Vance has said it would be reasonable to expect that they could deport 1 million people a year. Is the federal government planning there will be a surge of migrants crossing from the U.S. into Canada?
Thanks for the question, Mackenzie. And again,
Thanks for the question. And again, we need to close the friggin' borders.
What Americans choose to do, what America's incoming elected administration chooses to do in the United States is a decision for Americans and American leaders.
What?
The decision for Canadians and what's important for Canadians is to control our own border.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
And that is something that's really important. It's fundamental. And I do want to assure Canadians that we absolutely recognize.
So Roxham Road, you can just walk across either side, come and go. I did a video on that, went down there. I just don't understand how this administration here in Canada is going to secure anything if indeed President Trump decides that enough is enough. We will get all their derelicts coming over here. We're already full up of people. They're bringing their third world conflicts to our country every day, fighting in the streets with weapons, fighting with the police. You've seen the Eritreans do it. You've seen the Palestinians and Israelis do it. You've seen the Palestinians go off everywhere they go. You've seen the Indians do it. You've seen the Hindus and Khalistani Sikhs doing it. Where is the line? When do we start to deport them all, Freeland?
The importance of border security and of controlling our own border, of controlling who comes into Canada and who doesn't, and we will do that.
The RCMP has said that folks in Quebec could see, with a Trump win, more people crossing. And just to ask again, is there a plan in place, or are you expecting that more people will be crossing from the U.S. to come to Canada to avoid being deported?
What I am expecting is that Canadians expect us to control our border. Canadians quite rightly believe that it needs to be a decision of Canada and Canadians who comes to our country and who doesn't. And that is something that we absolutely have a plan to ensure.
Brian Temmelty, Toronto Star.
We're going to be here for Ukraine tomorrow. We are going to continue to work in close collaboration with all of Ukraine's allies to continue to support Ukraine.
It's amazing because we've got a Ukrainian here. And remember, the Ukrainians were exempt from taking any kind of shot during the demic, right? They could just come here, waltz in here. We weren't allowed to go to restaurants, whatever. But the Ukrainians had a special dispensation, and we've got a Ukrainian over here, Freeland, who has admittedly, she's an avowed lover of her heritage to such a degree that she considers herself to be a patriot of Ukraine first and foremost. She's said it before. And we've got her over here talking about how we're going to be supporting the Ukraine going forward. Now, what point do we say, hey, listen, all the ethnicities, whether you're an Indian in government or you're Ukrainian in government or a Chinese in government, when do you stop just worrying about your own ethnic constituency and start thinking about the whole country? Because I'm tired of sending these guys money.
We recognize that the fight in Ukraine is a fight between democracy and dictatorship.
Here we go.
And that the Ukrainians are fighting for us.
Right, okay. They're fighting for us. They're fighting for me.
Really important that I want to mention. And if you guys will permit me, look, I know that this is a day when many Canadians are feeling uncertain, they're feeling anxious. And
no, we're not feeling anxious. We want to get you guys out, just like the Americans got out the Democrats.
And it's been important. It is important for me to reassure them. I think a lot of the brave people of Ukraine are feeling anxious. So I'd just like to say one sentence to them in Ukrainian, if that's okay.
No, it's not.
Я хочу сказати нашим друзям в Україні, що Канада стоїть з вами. Ми стоїмо з вами сьогодні.
What?
Будемо стояти з вами
З вами
завтра.
Добродський?
Ми розуміємо,
Водка.
що ця війна – це війна між демократією і диктатурою. Ми горді вас, ми вдячні вам.
No,
і
babe,
будемо
no.
далі вас підтримувати.
The ProMilk.
Brian Platt, Bloomberg.
Hi, Minister Freeland. You were talking about the importance of your relationships.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.